What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Ralescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live it label free. I'm super excited. We've got a very, very cool guest joining us. She is the founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. It's a global coaching company. She's joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina, which I love Charlotte. Please welcome Amira Alvarez. Amira, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, it's going to be good. I love it. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I already told you this when we started. I love your shirt. We're both like wearing pink today. There must be something behind that.
Yeah. I love pink. I didn't used to love pink. I like talking about labels, right? Like I was brought up with like pink is too girly, pink is like not strong, pink is not good, right? Like don't play into that. And it scarred me for life, clearly. And it's only been later in life that I've really embraced it. And it's a great color on me, and it's vibrant, and it's, it's all good.
Your skin's glowing. Well, I love the pink, and I love that it's like an animal print. So it's like, she's ready to make her impact. Don't watch out, because she will pounce. I was a tomboy when I was little, so when I was younger, so like I wasn't really into pinky stuff, but I'm definitely a girly girl all the way through and through. So I love all my colors: pinks, yellows, green. If it's bright, I'm wearing it. So I'm digging that. So you have started The Unstoppable Woman, and I love that. I love the title. I love what it stands for. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and how that came about?
Absolutely. So, I was running my own business. I was going for it. I was putting all my love, all my effort, all my energy towards it. And I was doing okay, right? I had some competencies there. Like I was making some headway. I love to share my numbers just to pull back the curtains on the money stuff, because I think we hide behind things and there's not a lot of transparency out there. So I like to really be clear about what my story was. My first year in business, probably 6 to 9 months for that first year, was $30K. It was something, but it wasn't like what I wanted. Second year in business, though, I tripled my income. I didn't get past that 100K mark, but I got to 90K, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then my third year in business, I crossed the 6-figure mark, and I got to 138, which you do the math is kind of like another 50K. Okay.
Sure.
And so it was a chunk ahead, but I was working my patootie off and 12, 14-hour days. And I still put the effort in. I will be a testament to loving the journey, loving the work. Yeah. But at that time, I was putting the effort in with a monkey on my back, like the grind. It didn't feel like, wow, I'm digging this. I love it. This is exhilarating. It felt like, how am I ever going to get ahead? How am I going to get out of this overwhelm? Lots of fear about what to do and making mistakes. And if I could make, what I wanted to make the next month and all of that sort of stuff. And so I had to figure out how to be persistent, how to break through and get to that next level, because I couldn't keep doing what I was doing, which was just my biggest, I had 3 strategies: be a good person, do good work, and work my tail off. Right. Yeah. And I couldn't work any more hours, right? Like there's only, you can't, if you're already working 12-hour days, you can't double your work hours to double your income. And I had much bigger goals than that. And so.
And also you subjected to burnout,
Totally. It was like, my big wake up moment was when I was at the end of a work day, and it was 6 p.m., 6:30 at night. And I was still in the sweats. Like, we're all glammed up right now. I was still in my sweats that I slept in, the baggy t-shirt that like had no sex appeal whatsoever. I hadn't brushed my teeth. I hadn't taken a shower. And my then husband had called upstairs and he was like, "Hey babe, dinner's ready." And I was like, "I'll be right down. Let me just get one more thing done."
Oh, geez.
Right? You know that, right? You know that feeling. And an hour later, he was like, "I'm starting." And he didn't guilt me. He didn't shame me. Love that guy, great guy. But I had that big freaking wake up call because like this was not working. And this
The
was
way to live. That's not
the
living.
way to live. And so I I hadn't even brushed my teeth that day. Like I was so like the tiger was chasing me about like the next thing I had to do. So anyways, big come to Jesus moment, reconciliation with myself. And I had to figure out, how to do it differently because I saw people who were being successful. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Like, what does Oprah do? She has the same 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
And I know I wasn't starting at the same level. I had to get there, and I'm not at Oprah's level. Don't get me wrong. But
I don't think nobody's at Oprah's level.
Yeah.
So.
But I had to figure that out. So I went and I studied what successful people do and what keeps people from being successful. And I figured out, I back engineered what I did because next year I went from 138 to 700K, 5 times my income in 1 year. And then after that, crossed the 7-figure mark, and the company has continued to grow. And I love what I do, and I don't have the monkey on my back, and there's not a tiger chasing me. And there are good days and bad days, but like generally, I live a freaking delighted life. How did that happen? And so I back engineered it, right? I tried to figure out, and not just tried, I did. I figured out what the methodology was, what the formula was, so that I could teach other people. And so that's the premise. To answer your first question, that's the premise of the Unstoppable Woman. There are bright, smart, driven women out there who keep hitting blocks and making incremental progress when they could be making big progress, making breakthroughs, income breakthroughs and life breakthroughs. Yeah. And let me show you how to be unstoppable in that way. That's the premise of the name. Yeah.
I love that. And so how long have you had Unstoppable Woman?
So I've been doing this since 2012. So it's been 10 years now.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. And so when you started, obviously you started, do you have a team that works with you, or?
We have a fairly large team of amazing, freaking awesome women behind the scenes. Some of them are in front of the scenes, but it's a great group of women. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm not anti-man, but like everyone we seem to hire is a woman. It fits the brand.
Right. Exactly. It does fit the brand. I'm sure, I'm not anti-man either, but sometimes things just work out a certain way and it just makes sense. You know what I mean? What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Can we get a round of applause today? Woo! Today I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. And let me tell you something, it smells so good. My man wears this every day. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and use the code LABELFREE20 for 20% off and free shipping. And enjoy. So can you talk to us about like a success story for one of your clients, or what that looks like if someone wanted to work with you and they're saying, oh gosh, I love what Amira was talking about. I'm having those same issues. I cannot seem to get past a certain level in my life and I need help. So what would that look like to someone that wanted to work with you? Yeah.
First of all, depending on where they're at, I would invite them to our Income Breakthrough Summit. That's a 3-day training. Okay. It's immersive in there, and they will change the way they think about success and how to scale a business, and it will change their mindset, and not in a woo-woo kind of way, but in a like freaking grounded, this is how you have to change who you're being. Once people either do that, or if they feel like they're already like go time for them, I ask them, what is their goal? And I really feel into whether that goal is a true desire, or like that reasonable desire that doesn't get you out of bed, because you will not make an income breakthrough unless you have something urgent that is important to you. Okay. It's really, you have to have a burning desire. And I now have the desire for impact, right? We have growth goals for the company and all of that. I will be totally straight with you guys that when I was like studying how to make a quantum leap in my income,
Yeah.
it was all about, I wanted to help people. I wanted to do the right thing by people, but I was like, I want to make $1 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I had and I can't tell you why that hooked me, but it hooked me. And it was like, it was such a strong desire.
Yeah.
And you have to have such a strong desire to go through the challenges that business creates. Okay. If you
That's a lot.
if you have like what your husband thinks is a reasonable goal or what your sister thinks is a reasonable goal, and you just kind of go, okay, I'm going to go for this. This will be a nice, reasonable thing to do. It won't be exciting enough for you that you'll do the things that are required
Yeah.
for you, because you have to break through.
Yeah.
So that's where I would start people at, would be, come to the summit. And then we coach people on setting goals and how to stay accountable to that, how to use the universal laws of success to train yourself how to think in an ordered way and act in
Manifest.
Yeah. And manifest is like a fancy word for create.
Yeah.
And, you either love it or you hate it. But some people blow it off and think it's like just staring at your navel. I'm a very cause and effect,
Yes.
like action oriented. Like if you're just wishing and hoping and doing mantras, right, and saying affirmations, that's not enough. You do have to use those tools, but you have to actually become the woman who takes the action at a higher level. And I really had to go through so many.
Do you feel
Yeah.
like you have to believe that you're worthy of that level of success? Because I think a lot of women, well, especially women, we kind of self-sabotage because there is a stigma around success, and a woman that has a lot of more success than maybe her partner as a man or whatever. And I don't want to get into the sexes because non-binary, whatever. But I feel like that, and I'm guilty of it, that I've had to break through some ideas in my head that I wasn't worthy of success. I wasn't worthy of being known for something, or, I have this podcast, it's not generating millions, but I've created a great name for myself, a great brand. People listen. My guests, they sell books, they get clients, so I'm successful in that way. But to start, it was very scary. And I had this idea like, oh no, no one's gonna listen, and I think women do that a lot.
Absolutely. And everyone does that, male and female alike, but the way women do it, there's a acceptable acceptance that we can stop.
Right.
And you have to really recognize that in yourself and keep raising your self-image and your self-worth. And you do that. I'm going to just keep going back to it. You do that through taking different action. Like I have a really simple story, Deanna.
That was good.
Like when that year when I was going through my like major, like 5 times in my income in 1 year, I was beautiful on the inside, but on the outside I was a little frumpy, right? I told you about the sweats and the t-shirt and not really taking care of myself. And I realized that part of what I was like, when I started to think about a woman who made $1 million a year, right? Who was she? What did she act like? What did she look like? What did she do? How did she speak? And it wasn't how I was showing up, for sure. Okay. Yeah. And that's a little nugget, golden nugget for you guys. You have to use your imagination to see where you're going, because you will call in. Yes. If you can move to that level of vibration through your imagination, you will call in what happens at that level. But if you stay where you are, it's going to be so much harder. But anyways, I was standing on the street corner looking across the street at the nail salon, and I never got my nails done. And if I did, shouldn't say never, when I did once a year, it was just a regular $15 manicure, right? And I was like, this was a posh, fancy pants nail salon, not just the little hole in the wall. And I was going to get a gel manicure, and it was $45. And I was pacing like, can I spend that money on myself? Who am I to spend that money on myself.
Wow.
And I even had the thought, what would Jack think? That was my husband's thing. Now, Jack would have been like, Jack was like, go baby, right? Like was totally supportive. But I was using him as an excuse not to actually do this. And it was terrifying for me. It seems so simple to get your nails done, but it was terrifying for me because I didn't have the self-image, the belief structure that said that it was okay to spend money on how you look. Remember how I said, like, I grew up thinking, like, being told pink is bad, right? Like, it was the 70s feminism, like hardcore suits and no frills, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought it wasn't, like, I couldn't be sexy and beautiful and smart. Like,
girl.
Yeah. Right? It was like, what was I thinking? And yet it was really true. And so anyways, it was a small thing and I had to take that action. And even though it felt challenging and wrong and bad, and then I started, getting my hair done and flying first class and buying nicer clothes and hiring a stylist and going to Neiman's and not shopping at Target, and not anything against Target, but like I would buy the clothes and then they would be like, after the first wash, they wouldn't look good and I would look frumpy again. And I didn't want to look frumpy. And so, but it was terrifying, like going into Neiman's for the first time. Like they were all going to look down their nose at me because I clearly didn't belong there, right? And so self-worth is a big thing, and it translates into business because, I mean, there's two ways to look at this, Deanna. One is you feel like $1 million and you walk into that next interview, that next sales conversation, the next thing that you're doing, and you rock it because you feel good about yourself. So that's a direct correlation to like the look stuff. Yeah, but self-worth is also on the inside. Like, who am I to charge that much? Who am I to have great team members, right? I freaking love my team. Who am I to have I remember when I was first starting out, like, who am I to have an assistant? I thought she would be, I was trying to protect her and not share how much I made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's all sorts of ways this shows up, and you have to step into your worth. Absolutely. In order to scale your business.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's a really great story. And it's indicative of like how some of us get stuck. I'm totally the opposite. Like, I deserve that Louis Vuitton. I deserve to get my nails done. Even if I don't have any money in the account, I'm like, I deserve it.
That's awesome. I love it. So for you, if you don't have, well, I don't know what your financial situation is, but it's like, booyah, use that to leverage and do the work to make the income and keep going from there. Yeah.
That's the goal, Amira. That's the goal. So tell us about this summit, this Income Breakthrough Summit. When is it? How can people find out about it? Is there a fee to join it? Can we get some more information about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell me when this podcast is going to go live?
I'd like to say next week, I think, because I've already sent over the next week's episodes. So perhaps at the end of next week. So I'd have to check with my people.
Okay, that's fantastic. If it works, then the dates that people need to know are May 13th, 14th, and 15th. Okay, so it's coming right up if you drop this episode right now. So May 13th, 14th, and 15th, and it's virtual, and it's 3 days of me just teaching. It's not a bunch of different people. It's me going hard, teaching you how to think like a successful entrepreneur so that you can really up-level your life and do what you know you're capable of, like live at that next level of potential and greatness. So
is there a fee?
3 days. Is there a fee? Yes, there is. So the fee is $9.97 for the 3 days. And I'm happy to give your listeners, we didn't talk about this in advance, but I'm happy to give your listeners a savings so that they can get it for our early bird investment level, which was $4.97. And we'll do that at, let's say, theunstoppablewoman.com/summit-label. How about that?
Label. Okay, great.
Okay.
I'll make sure I put that in the show notes, you guys. So the unstoppablewoman.com/summit-label. So if you are looking to up your level in life, go check out the Income Breakthrough Summit on the unstoppablewoman.com. Where else can people find you, connect with you, and support you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a podcast, the Unstoppable Woman podcast. Lots of there's great stuff on there. I do content and teaching. We put coaching calls up there, so you can learn from my coaching with other women. That's by their agreement to be recorded. So nothing, no sharing confidences there. They're all paying it forward, sharing with everyone. And then we have a Facebook group called The Unstoppable, and that's a great place. We do a lot of trainings in there. It's a great community. So those are the places I would go to. The summit's a great, if you're ready, right? It's a great place to like dive in and learn in an immersive place. So like you get a lot in a short period of time. And then podcast is free and the Facebook group is free. So check this out.
And then are you on LinkedIn as well?
We're on all the channels. LinkedIn.
Awesome.
Less on Twitter, but there, and Instagram.
Everywhere that matters. Oh my God. I'll put all those links in the show notes, you guys. So don't hesitate to reach out to Amira. Obviously, she is lovely and just in touch with all of her unstoppable woman power. So reach out to her, ladies. If you've connected with her, you feel like she could make an impact in your life, I'm sure she would be happy to talk to you or send you in the right direction to the right link to get into that summit. Amira, it's been awesome talking with you today and hearing your story. I think we could talk for hours, but it's time to say goodbye. So before we do say goodbye, any last words of wisdom or advice for the audience?
Yeah, I just believe in yourself and go for it. I know that sounds a little trite, but if you really want something badly enough, figure out a way to learn to become the woman who does the thing. The biggest thing I did was I stopped DIYing, and I took personal responsibility. I do the work, but I stopped thinking that I knew all the answers. And that is a huge act of belief in yourself when you say, okay, I'm worthy of learning, I'm worthy of getting help, I'm worthy of being supported. Step into the feminine and really receive that support.
Ooh, I love that. Step into the feminine. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing that advice. I love it. Well, keep us posted on any new things you have coming up so we can share with the audience. And we would love to have you back so we can keep them posted and have them come back and support you some more. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to comment, share, rate, review, follow all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.